Hey y'all, a little change of plans. I do have my Google link meet up, but for some reason it's being a little odd, so I just thought I would hop on here for our, well, sharing to groups. Love it. Anywho, using my computer to do Facebook Live always throws me for a loop, but that's okay. So I hope y'all are all doing good today. I do have my coffee. It is my protein coffee, the one that Bug makes for me all the time, and I will be happy to share that recipe with you guys. It's actually coming to y'all very, very soon. But it is probably my favorite thing, and I've been looking forward to it all afternoon. But I'm going to give you guys just a couple minutes to hop on while I take a few sips. And then I'm going to dive in if no one hops on here, and you can watch this at your leisure. And then if you have other questions, feel free to just send me a message or post it below. And we'll get started here in just a second. All right. So I know this is probably a really odd time. It's only 4:30. Some people aren't even off work yet. This is probably not the best lighting, but we're just going to roll with it. So I have talked about my journey with this business along the way. I haven't talked about it as much as possible or as much as I used to when I was all like knee deep in the trenches about 3.5, 4 years ago. And I've kind of felt like it's time. And the reason I say that is that this is a great opportunity, but the timing has to be right. And so, what I wanted to do was to share a little bit of my story, but to also answer any questions if you had any. Um, so, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. But for right now, I'll just kind of go in reverse a little bit and tell you guys about my journey. So, one day at school, or it might have been like during lunch, I don't even remember exactly when it was. I just remember I was working at school and I saw a post from a friend of mine and was like, "What is this whitening toothpaste?" And the more I heard and the info I got, I was like, sign me up, because I am one of those always on the lookout for something new, something that people haven't seen before. I had sold plunder jewelry before that, and that is something that's still not super huge in my area of North Carolina. So when I saw this and I saw how things were going on social media, I messaged the girl and said, "Hey, what's the deal?" And she told me about the opportunity, signed up, and that's been all she wrote. Wish. That's how I could tell you the story went. And it was a bed of roses and unicorns. So, no, honestly, NuSkin rolled into my life at a point in time where my husband decided to venture out on his own work. And I 100% believed in him. I had no idea. This was in February. It was right at Carly's birthday. And I went and just signed up for it. Like I said, I thought to myself, Billy Peeler's going to think I've lost my mind. And he did. When you roll forward 4 months later, we know God's timing is always right. So I started with this business and just dove in. And I will say I'm pretty savvy when it comes to social media, and a lot of that came to like my author stuff, doing all my posts, knowing how things work on the different platforms, how to schedule, how you pull in your audience and things of that sort. And so that was how I started. Basically, I saw one post about some toothpaste, jumped on it, and the train started rolling. So, like I said, my team grew super duper fast, as us all being individual business owners within this realm. And I earned a trip to Africa. During this time, however, my world was starting to fall apart within the next 6 months. So, as I'm climbing up this hill, I've gone from being, let me just sign up, to a Ruby Executive. And Ruby Executive is about halfway up the mark for the tiers that they have in this business. And everything was fine, but then my world started to crumble, because let me just tell y'all, as much as I look like Superwoman, I am not her. And I have come to learn over the years that multitasking is my kryptonite. I don't know if I can get an amen about that or not, or if any of you feel that way. Needless to say, I kept pushing, kept pushing. I was working as hard as I could, but it was one of those things when I'd start to write a book, I had to pull away. And so, in doing that, I had a very hard time balancing my leadership role. Even with the teacher in me, I was struggling because I went so fast to that point. However, things kind of changed. There were some things that kind of happened. Couple girls said, this isn't for me right now. Perfectly fine. And we just continued to roll on. But most of y'all know that I suffered with mold toxicity for over a year and a half once I was diagnosed. That is not how long I had it. I had it for probably 4.5 years without knowing. 3.5, 4.5, or the exposure was there. And did not get sick until it was a little bit later on. However, when I got back from Africa, which was the best trip ever because Africa has been my bucket list destination since I was in 7th grade when I did a report on Kenya. So, I didn't know at the time, though, what was about to happen to me. When I got home about 2 months afterwards, things just started piling on. Every body system I had was affected. I could not sleep well. I lived in the bathroom. Hate to tell you, but I did. I itched all the time. My sinuses were a mess. I had the worst brain fog ever. I couldn't I was such a to-doer and was always able to accomplish the things on my list that it was unreal. I ended up taking a leave of absence from my job in May, and I ended up walking away from that school and that school system. In this, I have not been able to maintain the status that I currently was, and I knew that there was a season for everything. And so for me, I knew in this time that I could not push everything. And when I mean push everything, I couldn't push books. I couldn't push NuSkin. Heck, I was just barely hanging on, if truth be told. And so I went on about my business. I kept my normal customers that always reach out for things happy, my normal little shipment. But y'all probably noticed over the past little bit, for a little while, I was a little MIA on social media. I'd gotten to the point I was just done. I couldn't handle thinking about another post or being my true self. I had lost who I was. I could not even remember people's names, and I used to be really good at that. I used to be able to say, yes, we made this book signing, you bought this book from me, and I could tell you everything about you. All of that was gone. So, at one point on this journey, I had dropped back all the way back down to the beginning, not even holding an executive status, and that's okay. Because at that point in time, that was not a priority. And right now, things have kind of shifted a little bit, and I wanted to give you a little insight on that piece too. So, it has been last school year, I actually qualified, and I wasn't even hardly selling due to the people underneath me again. And I was gung-ho about it because I was ready to go, but then again, I wasn't quite. That anxiety that I felt and all the stress was there, and I was like, nope, it's not time. It's not right. So, I just didn't. Well, it has been this February, and we are now in the end of May, that I decided to give this a go. One little coffee break. Anybody else want some? So, previously, before February, I had joined in a group with Jennifer Allwood. If you don't know her as an entrepreneur, she is fabulous. She's very faith-based. She is just gung-ho on a lot of things. And I worked with her closely in a group of other ladies, and it let me see a few things in the other light. I absolutely love teaching school. I love my children. I love walking into Shelby High School every single day. However, I know that my teaching can go beyond the classroom. And I also know that God has a major plan for me, and that I need to sit in the season that I'm at, blessing the children that I'm with, as well as them blessing me, while I'm working towards another goal. So, On a call with Jennifer, she made a comment, and it brought me really close to someone who's helped me talk through a bunch of different things in my business, but it also brought to the forefront about Carly. And y'all know my bug is my world. And I strive to be the best mama and role model for her, so that when she gets older, she says, you know, you can do anything. Anything. Well, all of a sudden I got this idea. I thought, you know, I love this business. I do. I absolutely love my NuSkin business. And it is so much bigger than whitening toothpaste or a stick of body butter. It's about the women and the people that I cross their path with, how I'm able to serve them and grow them in encouragement, help them find their best self, and that's why I love this group as well. With NuSkin, I knew that with anything, it's a long game. And the runner over here is like, I'm in it for the marathon this time, not in it for the 400 sprint. Nope, that's not who I'm in for this time. So, this go round, I talked to Carly about it, and I said, you want to learn? Because she can't own her own business quite yet. She can be set up for one and learn the ropes, and that's the goal. But when I first started, she's the one that was always excited, that always helped me package everything, that was always in the midst of it. And that's how I knew that this piece was where I needed to go back to. So, in February, with less than 7 days in the month, Carly and I decided that we would give this a go. Now, I knew that I'd be the one doing the bulk because she just hasn't learned the steps. She hasn't learned what she needs to do. In this, I went through my old customers, probably sent a gazillion messages because I have probably over 600 customers on my old list. And in doing this, it brought some anxiety back. I was like, I can't live sending messages like this and get ghosted. That's not the kind of business I want. That's not the kind of people I want to serve. So I made a commitment that day that would no longer be how I would do my business. And I haven't done it that way since. Instead, what I did was I revived this community. I've reached out to people that consistently bought from me. I've served in here the best I know how, but I also want you guys to know that anytime you need something more from me, or if there's something you'd like to see, please don't hesitate to ask. I also served my previous customers in a new form. And some of you may have got this in the mail, but I created a little card that was me and Bug, and it was our journey, and sent it to my customers with a coupon code to save. And I did that because now the ball is in your court. Okay? One big thing that I felt when I walked away is that I was always being kind of, not slimy is not the right word, but I would always be in somebody's DMs, and I did not like how that felt. Yes, if I think you need something and we got a special, I might send you a message if you're my regular customers all the time now. However, you won't find me finding people I don't know or through a person that I don't know and sending them a message. The reason is that this business is like any other business. And the way I think about it is this, is if I had a regular brick and mortar business, would I stand out on the street and yell for you to come in and beg for you to come in? No, I wouldn't do that. So therefore, this approach has been very different this go round. So, like we said, we started in February. We didn't know what was going to happen, but we LOI'd, which is what you call it when you hit your first step to try to qualify again within 7 days. And I was so proud of us both because it was one of those where we said, okay, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to see what happens. And it didn't take the full 7 days, y'all. Then there's more qualifying that goes through, and we finished that. We finished the entire qualifying process within 6 weeks and are back on track to be where I want to be heading in this business. The one thing I wanted to share is that if you have ever had any inkling of wanting to start your own business but you don't know what to do, Everybody in this group has tried one of these products, and if you love them, like them, and have used them in your household, why not share them and make money? It's not always about the money, but the one thing that I loved about NuSkin is this, is that when I sent that message to my upline and she sent me, I was in because it didn't cost me anything. There's no monthly like package to buy every so many quarters or every season. It is free. However, you become a product of the product, and so therefore you do buy product. Okay, are you required to keep any at home? Absolutely not. Do I have some here? You better believe it, because in this household, we use shampoo, conditioner, we use the Lemmy Spa, the mask, we use, Billy's using the stuff to try to grow his hair back again right here. I mean, our house is full of NuSkin. If you walk into any one of our bathrooms, you're going to find it. And so I just wanted to throw that out there because I do not talk about the opportunity as much. I will be starting to share some more. But I did want to give you guys the opportunity that if you were curious of this business and how it worked, that I would love to talk to you guys one-on-one if you're one of those. It doesn't have to be a setting like this at all. And that I would love to just see where you are and meet you there. Do you have to be one of these that say, hey, I want to go Team Elite, which is where I want to be and I will be? And I am. I'm already claiming that now. It's okay if you're not, that's not what your game is. It's perfectly fine. If you're just wanting to make extra money every month to be able to afford dance for your child, or to be able to just say, hey, I got extra money, we can go out to eat several times this month. Completely up to you. However, for me, I have seen the benefits of this business. I have seen how it works for anyone if you're willing to show up consistently and show up on days that are not all unicorns and butterflies. Because that's what it comes down to. Because even, you think about your regular job, you going on days you just don't feel great, but you just have to show up. And that's where I just kind of wanted to come from today. I just wanted to tell you guys about that a little bit, give you the opportunity to talk about it. Ask me questions if you did on the replay. If you've got any questions, make sure you drop them below. I'll be happy to ask or answer any of those. One thing I will say is this, is that Carly, one thing that changed my business is when I went to corporate. And so I don't know how many people that sign up for a network marketing business can say they have been to corporate headquarters, but I went along with 2 other teammates. It was life changing. And when I say that, it was life changing. Something told me when I was there that this business was it for me. One thing is it started in a mason jar. And if you know me, mason jars are my jam. And knowing that was one little thing. And then seeing how much confidence it built in myself with this business, and how I can take this business and show my daughter how to do it as well. Yeah, is it going to be easy every day? Nope. But what job is? Is it going to be fun every day? Nope, probably not. But most days it will be. And the reason is, it's because it's not about the product, it's about the service. And so this go round, y'all, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to help you find a product in any of our realms that you are interested in that meets your needs of what you need at this time. If it's weight management, I got you. If it is a digestive enzyme, I got you. If it is collagen, I got you, because that's coming soon. If it is whitening toothpaste or body butter or anything on our website, do not hesitate to reach out, ask questions, and dig in there and just find. But I did want to ask you guys first, because like I said, you are my people. If you are interested and have ever thought about it, let's set up a time to talk. Let's see where you are, and let's see how I can help you live your dreams by being your best cheerleader, serving you daily with what you need, as well as pushing you on those days that, sometimes we all just need somebody in our court. So, until next time, love and mason jars.